Hi, everybody. Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Yay. We're so excited to be here. I'm Kimberly,
And I'm Katie.
and we host a podcast called A Day with Dateline if you're new here, but I know most of you in the chat are our listeners. But we're so excited to talk Yellowjackets.
Because
It's
we're late.
because we're so late.
Yeah.
It's the fourth episode just aired. If you are here just to support us, that is so, so sweet. But if you don't watch the show, you're going to be really confused. And
Yeah,
I
maybe.
constantly feel like I'm spoiling things. So you can go watch the Oscars, and we appreciate you just popping in and saying hi. But we
And
love you.
maybe
Maybe
if
you'll
you
go watch the show.
there you go. And if you haven't watched the show, maybe don't say you haven't watched it. So
'Cause
Kimberly
that'll
doesn't
drive me
worry about
insane.
spoiling stuff.
That'll
Yeah. Yeah.
literally drive it'll make me itch because I'll
Yeah.
feel like I am just ruining it for people. It's just also the Oscars are on, so
Yeah.
thank you for all of you that are here. I thought we'd maybe have, like, 1 or 2 people, so I'm really excited that so
Mhm.
many of you are here. Carla will give us Oscar updates, she says.
Great. There we
Um,
go.
how are you feeling, Katie, about this season? G Unleash.
I can't tell if I'm just grumpy or what's going on.
Mhm.
Can you go first? You tell me how you're feeling first.
Yeah, I'm much less enthused, after this latest episode. I was really
Okay.
trying.
Okay.
Uh, it just doesn't seem to have the magic of the first season, and I'm trying. Oh, well, someone says they're more into this season than the first. That is so exciting to hear. I love that.
That's
Um,
good to know. So
yeah,
maybe it's just us.
maybe we just have bad attitudes. We're just beaten down by life, and we were young, innocent babes 2 years ago, and now we are babes in the woods. I didn't mean like hot babes, but
Yeah.
maybe now we're just bitter. And so
Maybe.
we were pretty bitter about last season though too.
Yeah, I think we were bitter because we wanted more answers and we didn't know if they were going supernatural with it. I've looked at some of our notes from the finale
Mhm.
last year and I was
Mhm.
just curious.
Mhm.
I have been getting less irritated as the season's gone on though. So I'm the opposite of you. But
Okay.
I'm frustrated with a few characters, like the
Very.
choices that they're making or
Yeah.
what the show has decided to do with them,
Mhm.
mainly our main person.
Shauna.
I feel like Shauna is vastly different in the current timeline than she is in the past timeline. It feels like 2 completely different people. They do not feel connected to me whatsoever, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to get there, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on, and maybe it's gonna connect, but it's not connecting right now.
I understand that. I have been very bitter about Shauna. Sorry, I just change you need to change your thing. I forgot
I like the David
if you
Grammy.
see what I wrote here,
Huh.
um under my name I wrote Team Freezer. Because in this
Oh, okay.
episode, I was kinda just like, "Just let the freezer have adult Shauna. I'm fine with it. Just
Wow.
let her go peacefully into that sweet, sweet, cold, dead meat freezer." I'm
Okay.
getting really sick of her. She is so selfish. She is so,
Mhm.
like, annoying and just and I don't like teen Shauna either because she will never admit she's wrong or done anything, and she's just is so bitter and jealous over
Right.
Natalie, and it's, like, clouding everything. I'm getting so annoyed with
Yeah.
everyone but Misty, I think.
Misty's interesting, but then I'm annoyed with Misty not treating Walter right. So I'm
That
having a
pissed
hard
me
time
off.
with
You're
that
right.
relationship is bothering me.
Also, can we talk about Shauna letting Misty drive drunk and, like, on pills? That was really bad.
Shauna's being a bad person in both timelines right now.
She
There's
really
no
is. She's
redeemable version of Shauna is not
bad
there.
timeline, and I know in the first season we really liked Shauna, and people were like, "I don't know where you guys are coming from. I hate Shauna. She's not a good person."
I
And
think we like Melanie
I think
Linsky
we
or
just
something.
like her Melanie, and we're
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
that's what people are saying, yeah. So here's I did make a list. We're not gonna do a recap at all, but I did make a list of questions that I still had from previous seasons that I'm hoping would get addressed. Maybe Katie could draw them or write them or draw
I've got
symbols
a
of them.
I've got a board
This
here. I'm
a
ready to go.
board. So,
Yeah.
question number 1, who pooped in the pee bucket? And was it Javi?
I'm
We
not
never
writing
got
that
an answer on
question.
that.
I'm not writing that question.
You could draw a poop bucket.
No, that's a
Okay, it should
ridiculous question, and it
uh,
has no bearing.
okay.
That's hilarious, though. I did
Okay.
not even remember that.
Yeah, because I did a rewatch of the first 2 seasons, and
That's
it
okay,
was
okay,
big, like, who pooped in the pee bucket. Pretty sure it was Javi, but
okay.
I don't know why he did that. Um,
Also, apologies, folks, we can't figure out what's going on with my camera. It looks like I'm in some sort of haze.
it looks like she's in the wilderness,
It looks like I'm
like
in, like, a
fog.
sea. I keep, like, trying to change the brightness and do stuff. It's not getting any better. We will figure it out for next time, and I will be in normal color like Kimberly is. Okay,
Thank you.
regardless.
Uh, okay, the man with no eyes that looks like an emo singer, like Jack White or something.
Yeah.
Um,
So he's made his first appearance in
he did
episode 3.
he came back, and so, like,
Mhm.
does Taissa see him anytime someone's gonna die? Or, like, he was leading her towards the symbols and led her towards Javi. So, in the woods, see, this was from my rewatch. He
Right.
led her to find Javi. So, I'm just not sure what his purpose is yet.
Yeah.
Put a pin in it.
Okay.
Why is the show so dark sometimes? And I mean literally. Why do I have to turn up the brightness on all my devices?
Oh, it
Is
is
it
very
just
dark.
me? It's like Game of Thrones last season where you couldn't see anything. Yeah, I know she saw him. He first appeared when the grandmother died, but and then she's from that he's from that commercial, I guess, that implanted on her when she was a kid, which
I
is
don't
very
like that. I'm
at
so
this
sorry. I don't like
you don't
that.
like that. See, I think that's
Did you
real
like that?
because I have like weird phobias that I know came from like commercials that scared me from when I was a kid. So that feels very real to me. Like my thing about pool filters is
Well,
I
that's
know
like a normal thing,
from a
though. Everybody
commercial.
has that, but I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I ho I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So, where is Crystal's body? She fell and then her body was gone. So, we don't know
We do
where
not know what happened. Okay, that's a good question.
there finally, I got a legitimate question on the
Sorry, I
board.
think you had another one too. What was your one right before this?
Why is the show so dark? The man with no eyes. Yeah, no, I definitely think no, Van didn't see the man with no eyes. When do you think man yes, he's definitely Slender Man with no eyes. Um, Van, I don't believe saw the man with no eyes.
No, just oh
Just
boy, you
tight.
can't read that at all. Hold up.
You might
Stop
need
that.
to draw. It might be like Pictionary.
It might need to be Pictionary. Oh,
She saw him on the commercial. Yeah, I think Taissa is seeing a vision and it has taken the shape of somebody that was legitimately in a commercial. But Taissa is having visions of him and it means something else. But like that actor, there was a commercial for sure. I see what you're saying.
you can read that.
No eyes. Yep, man, no eyes.
Okay. Your next question was good too. What was it? It
Where's
was
Crystal's body?
where's Crystal's body? Is Crystal with a K?
No, C.
CHR?
CRY.
CRY.
Crystal.
No H. You told
No
me
H.
you
C
did
R
actually.
Y
Okay,
S T
sorry.
A A L.
Every time with Crystal. Every time. Doesn't matter. I'm so
Yeah, I
sorry.
think you're trying to spell chrysalis.
I think I'm
Chrysalis?
trying to spell Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just Jesus coming through. Yeah, some people are still not sure that Crystal was real. But people talk to her besides Misty. So
But
she
then
can't
she got a look in episode 4 when she said, "It could have been Crystal." And everyone was like,
no, but still everyone went
"Yeah,
out to
all
look
right."
for her. Misty goes, Crystal is missing, and they went to look for her.
I feel like they're
And
leaving it open. I feel like it's an open
no,
question, but
people talk to her because remember when they were singing and someone goes, "Oh, there's 2 of them now, Misty and Crystal." Like, people addressed her besides
I
Misty.
still feel
Thank you,
like it's open.
Jennifer.
I feel like it's open. Can somebody back me up that it's still like that it could be not? We don't yeah. See, I feel like Carla's questioning. Thank you, Carla, in the chat. I feel like there are questions here. Okay, sorry. Press on. So we have man, no eyes, Crystal,
Yeah.
body, question mark? Okay.
Okay, so Javi, um, when he came back, he said
Mhm.
he had, like, a friend out there, and he got that queen card back because the deck was missing queens, but then Javi brought back, like, the queen card, and so someone gave it to him, someone and I think he had, like, some sort of female friend out there that was
A la
bewildered.
Lost, like the French woman
Could be,
in Lost?
could
Okay.
be, could be sh Carla says maybe they thought they were looking for a crystal. Maybe Crystal is the name of the pea bucket.
Javi's friend with oh, sorry. I'm gonna try
Thank
not to
you,
kill
Nicole.
myself.
The first time
Javi's
anyone talked to Crystal, Misty wasn't there.
okay. Javi's friend with the queen card, right?
Yeah. He had some friend that he talked to out there and, like, I think gave him the queen card, and we don't know who that was, if that was Thaisa talking like, bad Thaisa walking sleepwalking,
Okay.
um, or because she's the one who found him after, so maybe it was? Unsure. Uh, then okay, here's some quotes that I wrote down from this season.
Mhm.
Or maybe it was from it was the end of last season when they were at the Lottie's cult compound.
Mhm.
Shauna says there was no it. It was just us. And then someone else said, "Is there a difference?" So that felt very much like Lost. Like, was it supernatural? Was it whatever? It was the journey
That
the
was the big
friends we made
question. It's
along the way, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like, does it matter? Like, are the writers trying to say it doesn't matter if there is something supernatural or not? It's what they turned into because they believed in it, or
Okay.
I think there's something supernatural. I think the screaming in the woods and the, you know, all this stuff
And you
like
don't think it's mass hysteria or whatever.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but I do think there's something supernatural.
Okay.
There was that weird moment where Jackie's body got, like, barbecued because that wind came and, like, made her body fall in the right way, and then it turned it into a slow cooker, and, it was this movement like the smoke monster in Lost that kind of
Right.
made everything
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
Um, okay, the pit that the coach finds with all those supplies in it.
Well,
First of all,
this is now we're in
we're fully in
season
now in the new season.
okay, so our 3 main questions, you're gonna have to remember them because 'cause we're gonna write new questions.
Yeah.
Man with no eyes, Crystal's bodies, Javi's friend with the queen
Those are
card.
not my main questions, so those are some of my questions, yeah.
Okay. Alright, you can
S
keep talking. What you got?
I don't think they'll ever answer if it's supernatural or not, that's what Finley says. Shauna says someone somewhere suggested that weird noise might be fracking, and that's how they get saved. So really, climate change and, killing the environment is gonna save these awful people and bring them back to civilization.
They're not all awful.
They're no, they're not. They're not all
They're
awful.
not awful. It's just yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so
Oh my gosh, sorry, every time I move, my brightness is going, like, in and out. That's the most bizarre thing. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, geez.
Javi's friend is Cabin Daddy's daughter. When are we gonna meet Cabin Daddy? Where did
Oh,
that
yeah, who
episode
said that? Who said that was Cabin Daddy's daughter?
I don't know.
Hmm.
When are we gonna get that backstory of Cabin Daddy? Because that episode was supposed to come in between seasons with Jason Ritter playing Cabin Daddy.
That's what I thought. I
So
think it's gonna come in
maybe
the middle of this season. I think
yeah,
that random episode is gonna drop right in the middle, but I do wish it had come early. I feel like that
I
would have
know.
been really nice to have.
Then we'll get
Um,
some answers.
okay.
So
Oh, sorry, do you wanna go episode by episode questions? I've
no.
got sort of a oh, okay.
Sure, go for it.
We don't have to.
What do you have for the beginning?
I do think that the Coach Ben emergency supplies are from episode 1 of season 3.
Yes.
So, the emergency supplies now on the green, metal suitcase or whatever that is, the storage
Yeah.
case that he finds it in, it says KUH in stencil.
Okay.
We got anything on that?
I don't. I saw some numbers and letters, but I didn't think it was KUH. But it has to mean something. The symbol was not on there, interestingly enough. So what do we think these supplies are for? Some sort of government experiment or some sort of prepper that went out into the woods with a bunch of supplies? It seemed very like military-esque.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
It was really surprised. I don't they all had that weird generic writing on it. And it was filled with, like, bear spray and, like, survival kit tools, not just
yeah.
food. But, yeah.
So they have to so it maybe has something to do with tunnels or caves. DB Cooper. I would love it if there was a DB Cooper crossover and we finally got answers.
This is
He
not
parachuted
legal.
into the woods.
Yeah,
Um,
Coach Ben supplies.
yeah. So like
That was a
yeah, like
fascinating
mining.
thing and not annoying, actually. I thought that was gonna be annoying, like, "Okay." But then I was like, "Well, I mean, we know that Cabin Daddy was there. That's already
Yeah,
been set up for us. So, absolutely, he could have been some sort of mercenary or military or there to study something. We don't know why he's there."
something like mining, Julia says.
I like mining. Mining's interesting. We talked about that
We
last
talked
last
about mining
season,
last season.
that it could have been a mine of some sort. I
And
don't
we
remember.
talked about gas, like that theory that actually happens, which I'm
Yeah,
jumping ahead a little, did come up on Reddit like last season or the season before when
really.
Lottie had that vision in season 1 of walking through the tunnels with pipes everywhere and people thought, is there like a gas leak underground somewhere from mining or something, some sort of natural thing that's like the rust that's making the water red in the first season.
Well, and we kind of know it's gas, right? Because
Well,
they
now
get gassed.
yes, now we do. So, but
Mhm.
that came to fruition, and that was a suggestion, like, in the first season, people were talking about, is there
Right.
some sort of gas? And then the birds all crashed into the cabin and died. Um,
Yeah.
so people yeah, I know, poor Lauralee. I was mad that she didn't get honored at the summer solstice thing. That made me sad too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think well, isn't it only pe well, it's not only people they ate because
It's people the
they didn't eat
wilderness, like,
the
took,
baby.
so they say
It took Laura Lee.
it totally took Laura Lee. She should have been there. Yeah.
That's messy. I don't like that. That's not good.
Um,
Okay.
so we have who did they honor? They honored Javi, they honored Shauna's baby, and they honored Jackie. Yeah, they honored Jackie, but not Laura Lee. I don't like that.
Um, I don't like and then now we're seeing that, like, Travis is on a drug trial with Lottie, the
It
mushroom drug trial to try
it
to
is
listen to
like
the
the
woods,
LSD, like they're doing LSD experiments on Travis. Lottie
and
is.
it's the woods themselves, and the trees are screaming, and she doesn't know now what's going on, but she will. It didn't that's a little clunky. It's
There's
fine.
a lot of stuff that's very clunky.
There's clunk, yeah,
Also, everyone heard the trees screaming. Like, everyone heard that, and it
that's
happened during the summer solstice. When Travis was having one of his drug trips, he yelled, "1, 2, 3, eyes on me," which felt very, A, kindergarten, and B, the man with no eyes.
Does it also feel soccer team, though?
Is that what a coach would say?
Yeah, 1, 2,
Like a
3, eyes
teacher?
on me.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me. I don't know. His dad maybe said it a lot. I don't know. Um,
What else is happening in the woods? Paper
so
lanterns, sorry.
you why
Also, that's just
paper
a really good
lanterns,
way to get a forest fire. You're
you've
just
already
asking
had
for
one.
trouble.
You know I was mad because I don't like
I knew you were mad, but
memorial
I you
balloon
should be
things.
doubly mad because they're in a forest of
You've
trees. Do not set paper lanterns out.
A, how did they make those? B, you've already had one forest fire that was devastating, and now you're lifting up paper balloons with like
Also,
I don't know.
those weird stick tents with the holes in them are creeping me out.
They're creepy, and
I
also
don't
they
like
are
that.
not gonna do anything when winter comes. So they better keep piling those up because the wind is just gonna knock those things down.
Also, where did the ducks come from?
Yeah, how did they you can't just start making ducks, like, you must have found a duck.
That's the wilderness then
You had
is giving
the
them ducks.
wilderness provided them with a male and a female duck to
Okay,
start procreating,
I don't
and
like
then Aquila is now the, animal whisperer, and so now she might be the one that the wilderness is talking to.
until she dies because we know Aquila doesn't make it out.
We don't think she does, unless there are other
Pretty sure.
people. There's someone out there that is talking to Shauna or, like,
It's
keep
gonna be Mary,
it
Blondie,
Melissa.
Melissa.
Mari or Melissa?
Melissa, sorry, I thought her name was Mary.
Yeah, Melissa.
Melissa. She doesn't
Why
look
does
like
Melissa
Melissa.
still have to wear that backwards hat? I know that we wouldn't recognize her without it because she's had no character arc so far, but it's so annoying to me. Her hair
Sorry,
is
there's
so
also
much.
an adult actress that looks almost identical to Melissa, but I don't think it's the one playing her. I believe it's her because we know Hilary Swank joins the cast.
I was wondering, is Hilary Swank going to be
Yes,
Melissa?
I think so. But it's unfortunate because there is an older actress, like a not older, but just there is another actress that looks a lot like young Melissa. So
Mhm.
I just can't think of her name. I've seen her and stuff, but
Oh.
if I
Oh,
come up with her for next time, I'll get her.
behind the scenes showed that the lanterns were made out of school books. Okay. Still not a good idea.
No, it's just the fire element of
Just the
being in
fire
the woods
hazard.
with fire. We're just
Yeah.
let's why are we doing this? We don't
What?
know.
Yeah. Um, we've shared psychosis is one theory that we've all had, which is like mass hysteria, where like a whole town just starts
Right.
having visions or seizures or something. 100%. That's always on the table. Um, yeah, I'm nervous for Aquila too. But yeah, is it possible there are people that survived but stayed in the wilderness, like chose not to be rescued?
Wouldn't that be Lottie?
Yeah,
But
but
Lottie did
maybe they
kind of, right? She stayed wilderness adjacent with her cult. We don't
yeah,
actually know where the wilderness is still, so I'm
were
not sure.
they were flying from New Jersey to Canada? Unsure.
I think we
So,
we thought about Canada. Yeah, we don't know.
okay, the
So
name
in
of
the
the oh,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, no, go.
No, what were
I
your
was just switching to the real timeline, to the
great,
now timeline.
great.
So the question I don't like Misty not being at the funeral, number 1, of Natalie. And now you're saying that the time has passed because you and I have had this conversation off camera because I was irritated at the timeline
Yeah.
that we don't get to see, and we're not getting really a lot of flashbacks to the cabin burning, to all that stuff, to them building the creepy stick
No,
teepees, all that
it's a
stuff, right?
time jump. Yeah,
Right,
in
yeah.
both timelines.
And so then the question is, what how much time has passed in now time? Did Natalie just
Thank
die
you.
if they're
Sorry, they were
having the
going to
memorial?
Seattle. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sorry, were they did if they're having the memorial for Nat now, she had just passed? So we're very
No,
close in the
6 weeks have passed. So
for
we are
sure.
she's
Okay.
they say she's already been cremated and this is like the memorial celebration 6 weeks later. It seems weird because it's just in a church and there's nothing that they would have needed to plan for 6 weeks because the mom is just like she sucked. Bye. So It does seem very strange that they're now just going to some sort of memorial or funeral 6 weeks later, for sure. But 6 weeks have passed.
And it seems weird that Misty is not there, seeing Misty would always wanna be with everybody.
But
So did
Misty
they
feels
not tell?
guilty because she killed her.
Right, right.
So maybe that's why she seems to be in some sort of funk
Did
and
we
she's
get
meditating.
any clues from the storage unit? Because I am hoping we go back there several times, because really all we got out of it was the leather jacket, and I
Yeah,
was like, "This has to have more stuff in it that I need to see."
yeah. That
So
that seemed to all we saw. That was
okay,
literally all we saw was the leather jacket.
let's hope we go back. I
Also,
really
Natalie
hope we go
doesn't
back.
seem like a person who would have a storage unit, but
But
Walter
it seems
says her
secrets,
Enneagram points to a storage unit.
secrets. She's got
Right.
secrets. I
But
feel like there's
I also
something in
feel like
that
she
storage
just
unit.
wants no belongings. She travels light.
But we already knew she had a storage unit 'cause she had her car in it.
I know, it just never seemed weird. It just seemed strange to me that there was other stuff in there besides the car. I felt like she was attached to the car, but I don't know what else she would have, like paperwork. I don't know what she would save. She doesn't seem like a saver to me.
It seemed like too many boxes. I
Plus,
would
all that
imagine
stuff
maybe 3
was
or 4 boxes, but
in the first season when she goes back to her mom's trailer, she has the tapes, like her old music tapes and stuff. So she still has a bedroom at her mom's house with like her old stuff. So
I
then this
think
is
that this
all
is all the
adult
stuff
stuff.
from there.
Right, but I don't think since she's not on the show anymore, I don't think we're gonna ever find out more of what
Okay,
happened to her as an adult that she would need a storage unit for.
this is not helpful.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of tapes, now are we seeing her tapes, and are we being led to believe that perhaps one of Natalie's tapes is the tape that is dropped off at Shauna's, that Callie
That's a
gets hold of?
It's a really good question. What is that tape? Is someone blackmailing them again? Because that's dumb. Please don't have someone blackmailing them again. Um,
Yeah,
is Shauna the only one that got a tape?
it seems that way.
So if it has to do with what happened that night at Lottie's cult, the only person that saw anything was the girl with the the girl with the fish that Natalie bonded with, the girl in Lottie's cult.
I
But
completely forgot she existed.
yeah, she was there. She came and like Callie was holding the gun, and then she showed up, and Natalie saved her. Natalie threw
Right.
herself in front of her to save her because Misty was going to stab her, I think, with the fentanyl thing.
Hmm.
So, Lisa, thank you. Where is Lisa? Because she saw this whole thing. Natalie threw herself in front of her to save her, obviously as like to make herself feel better, redemption for not saving Javi because she let Javi die in her place so that she could survive. So she saved Lisa and now Lisa's just gone.
Mhm.
Um so does it have anything to do with that night or is it stuff still from the wilderness? Like the person who left the tape is probably the person who was in the bathroom and left the phone for Shauna, which by the way played Queen of Hearts and the song, she's the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
And then the screen on the phone was like wilderness. So I think it has to do with
So
the
it's Melissa.
wilderness and not what happened that night at Lottie's thing. So that means Lisa's just gone and we're not. Bye, Lisa. Lisa is busy filming her How I Escaped a Cult episode.
I think it's definitely Melissa
Yeah, I think so. I think
who's
they're definitely leading us to because they had like Shauna thinking about that moment when she kissed Melissa to like calling the restaurant, like asking if anyone picked up the phone. So,
but I think it's definitely that Shauna had Melissa. I think Shauna has a little bit Melissa under a spell,
mhm,
and I think that Melissa's gonna do something bad for Shauna, really
that
bad,
she does seem to think like Shauna is the cult leader now and she wants to follow her. Yeah.
and I don't know why.
I don't get it.
I don't know why.
Um,
I'm really grumpy about Shauna
I know.
in the
Like
past
she's
and
been
in the
through a
present.
lot of trauma out there for sure. Um,
I do understand. I
But,
do
like
understand that. Oliver also made that argument, and I was like, "Okay, but this is a lot." Like, she's being unreasonable, and it's bothering me.
yeah, and now it really is, that trial was BS. Okay, so we're
Oof.
jumping ahead, but, um,
So that's all episode 1 questions, and
yeah,
then
also in episode 1 is Van and Thaisa kind of rekindling, and Van cuts her foot, and shout out to Mary Payne from Pink Shade, who is very mad that she drove herself to the, uh, urgent care with her foot all cut up, um, and then she finds out her cancer is, like, stopped growing.
we talked about that last season, so we were right about that.
We were 100% right that
Yeah. The
what they did out in the
sacrifices.
wilderness,
Yeah. Mhm.
um, but actually, this is 6 weeks later, so I don't think Natalie's death what did Natalie's death do? Because it seems like they're saying the waiter's death is what caused the cancer to stop growing, but Natalie's death was 6 weeks ago. Did her death just save the police from coming after Shauna?
Yes.
Was it supposed to I thought it was supposed to make everyone's lives better. That's what Lottie said. Like, if now the wilderness is pleased with us, and she gave Van a look that said, "Your cancer is gonna go away,"
So
and
maybe it does. It brought Van and Thais back together, like,
it made Thaisa's wife not die because she appears to be alive even though we haven't seen her, although I'm still
I have a
suspecting
lot of questions about why
where
Ty isn't
is
in office. She won an election. Is she not in office?
she
Or
said she got impeached or she impeached herself before she even took office. So is
she
do
said
what
that?
yeah, she says that in the first episode. So
Thank you, I fully missed that. Okay.
what happened in the woods at the cult maybe made people not want her in office anymore. So
So now she just has money because 'cause
she
she's got money?
she just has money to burn. I don't know.
Okay,
In New Jersey, you can get in office and then get impeached and then yeah. So Sammy the child is with the mom, or we
okay.
hope he's alive. The dog, the second dog, he's
Yeah, we don't
gone.
know.
So hopefully he's fine. Um I
I don't like any of that.
I don't like what happened. I don't know what happened. Like, so Natalie's death seemed to only make things better for Shauna briefly. But maybe it took 6 weeks for the cancer to stop growing and it was like a
That's what I'm
long
wondering too, if it's like you have to keep doing it to keep the cancer from stopping to grow.
Yes.
Otherwise, it'll start growing again. That's the feeling that I'm getting, is
Yes,
that
well,
you have to
because
keep doing it, and I think that's what Ty thinks too,
when they
right?
went in that restaurant that was abandoned and they saw that fox, for some reason that said to her, "It wants more."
That's
Uh,
episode 3, yeah.
yeah. So,
But in 2, we find out the cancer stopped growing, right? Yes.
uh, yes. And they go to that restaurant. First of all, the name of the restaurant in French means "no soul." I looked it up.
That's that's interesting, and
No
that's
soul.
episode 3 though, I think.
No, when they go to the restaurant and they dine and ditch. That's I
Oh,
think
when they go to the restaurant and dine
what
in ditches too,
yeah,
when the guy dies, yeah.
yeah. Um,
That was
remember her
wild.
last minute campaign contribution was fishy. No, I don't think it was because she said no to that mean lady. She
But
didn't
it
wanna talk to that lady and
but
get
she
a
also
front
got in office because she sacrificed the dog.
right. I don't think it was a contribution. I think she did that she killed the dog and did the altar, and then she got in office.
So she could get in on right.
Yeah.
So it
Um,
is things happen when
but she didn't seem to know she was doing that. She was sleepwalking, I think.
we don't know what that is yet
She
still.
saw the altar and freaked out, so I don't think she totally knew that she did that. Um,
So also in current timeline, Lottie shows up at Shauna's
yeah. Oh, Thaisa stopped sleepwalking, so that was a big win for her because that's kind of why she went to Lottie at the cult was because she was having that sleepwalking and it was ruining her life, and she killed the dog. So
because
she would
she wasn't killing.
right, and
Now she's fine.
now she's not sleepwalking, so that's good for her. Um,
Hmm.
Van is living with Thaisa in her nice apartment,
Yes.
not in
So
Van's apartment.
so let's go to Shauna and Lottie. and Lottie trying to get really close to Cali. Do you have any thoughts on what's going on and why that's happening?
Well, she said when she saw Callie in the woods at the cult, she said, "This is your daughter. She's so powerful." And
I forgot about that.
so when she saw her, she had like an instant reaction to like, Callie is special. And then she keeps saying in the current season, like, Callie, you're the only one who would understand what it's like to be, you weren't there, but you are the closest one to understanding what it was like to be there. Like, there's something special about her being the offspring of the wilderness people because no one else in the wilderness had children because I'm assuming Sammy is not Ty's biological son.
Oh, maybe not.
So Cal unless he is, and that's kind of why he was a little strange, but Callie seems to be like the one offspring, and she does seem to be like grooming her for something. And when she gave her that heart necklace, that creeped me the F out because one of the theories from the very beginning, so in the opening scene of the show, we see Pit Girl, and we still don't know who Pit Girl is. And Pit Girl is the one who runs, and she's being hunted by the group in the woods, and she falls into the pit and she dies, and she's wearing the heart necklace. One of the most out there theories was that Callie is Pit Girl, and they somehow went back into the wilderness. And so it was a present day pit chase in the woods.
Yes,
And
I don't think that was that out there. I think that was a pretty common theory that it
okay,
was
pretty common
Cali.
theory.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then Callie gets this necklace from Lottie, and she says to Shauna, "It doesn't mean what you thought it meant."
It says it never meant
Never
what you
meant.
thought it meant, and but, like, it's the most emotion we see from Shauna in
Yeah.
the current time of, like, anger.
And Natalie is currently wearing the necklace in the wilderness because she's
Mm,
the queen and she wore it for the hunt when she
right.
was supposed to be hunted. So
It's not a
though,
good symbol, and I think she's also surprised, she was like, "How do you have that?" She asked
yeah.
Lottie. Like, "Why how do
Oh,
you have
why
it?"
did you break? Yeah, like why she wouldn't want
Yeah.
anyone to have brought it back from the wilderness.
I have a thought really quick about Callie. Now that you mentioned that Callie's the only child, the only offspring, I'm wondering if Shauna had a difficult time having Callie. Like, they wanted a child, and Shauna had to do some sort of a sacrifice to get pregnant.
That's possible, although she seemed to get pregnant pretty fast after they were married, or maybe she was already pregnant when she got married to Jeff. She always talks about how her life didn't go the way she wanted to, like she wanted to go to college and stuff and have a big career, and instead she's like a housewife, which is fine, but like
Which means that maybe this was a choice that was made for her.
I don't, yeah, I don't think she tried hard to get pregnant with Callie. I think that happened pretty fast when she got back, and that meant she had to marry Jeff, and
Interesting.
her life didn't go the way she wanted it to. Or she did want to marry Jeff because she felt so guilty about the whole Jackie thing. But
Yeah, I don't know. Mm.
but it could be like someone did something, like Lottie did
Oh,
something to get
Jennifer
her.
just made a point in the chat that said Jackie in the freezer said something about bad things Shauna did after they were rescued. Yeah, see, I think that there's stuff that happened after.
Well, she killed Adam, the car accident guy that she was
But I
sleeping
think
with.
right after. I think it
That's
was like you came
possible.
back
Yeah.
and your life didn't change, you still were like
Yeah, that's totally possible. One I don't want them to go back because on Lost they went back and it was a huge plot line where they were like, "We have to go back." They got
oh, they're going
rescued.
back. I'm so sorry. They're definitely going back.
I know. But I don't want them to because it feels so much like Lost. The theme song that says like "No return, no return," that
Mhm.
makes me think they're for sure returning.
I
Um,
think no return means, like, once you're here, you don't go back to normal life.
yeah,
You never actually get out.
yeah.
I think what it's going to be is confusing as to if they ever left the wilderness,
Right, and is all this like a shared delusion? All this stuff that happened
or
after?
like, alternative timeline.
Right.
We're in the worst timeline, that
Which
sort of
Mari brought up
thing
in the
is
cave
right.
with Ben. which
Yes.
is like the alternate timeline theory.
Is what a lot of people are talking about right now in this timeline
In our real
we
current
are
life
currently in. I
that
have
we're
heard that
currently in the
bandied
bathtub.
about quite a bit. So
Yes,
I'm just
of course.
wondering if that's
I've been
okay.
thinking that for many, many years though. So,
Yes.
um,
I've been thinking that, yeah, since
but yes,
2000.
Lottie was super weird about the first baby that
Mhm.
died, but she kept saying like, "The baby's gonna save us. He's so important. He's our,"
So
like,
then this baby is the important one. It's something
since that
about
baby didn't
Shauna's
survive, then Callie would
if
be.
Shauna is the antler queen, which probably, then that baby is the, like, monarchical heir.
Yeah. Or if it's just everyone that came back has, like, the
I don't know.
wilderness in them, and that means she passed that on to Callie.
I can't stand them together. I can't stand it because I still can't stand Callie. I'm trying really hard. I'm so
I
sorry.
know, Callie continues
Trying
to
really hard.
be the worst. There
Just
was,
a
like,
teenager. It's
moments
just stuff. I don't know.
like, in the 1st season when she heard how like, more about what her mom had been through,
It was
it seemed
better.
like she was better and, like,
Then now it's not. I don't
but
know. I just listen
it's
to your ugh,
always the teens, like, remember that teen
yeah,
that you
I know.
hated on 24? That you hated Jack Bauer's daughter on
In season
24?
1,
Yeah,
I couldn't
and
about
she kept
Alicia
getting them
Cuthbert.
into
Yeah, I couldn't do
jams
it. I was
because she
so angry at
sucked.
her. She kept making every wrong decision, and I was like, "You are making this worse."
I wouldn't even
Yeah, I was
I
really
was
grumpy.
not watching that season, and you would just rail against this daughter, how she was
I
so
was
dumb,
really
and
grumpy.
it's a
I was just
real
really
trope
mad
of,
about it.
like, the dumb teenager that
Yeah, I
messes
can't be
stuff
doing
up.
any of that. Um,
Um,
but anyways, so but that relationship is important, and I also, the stealing thing. It was a combo of things that I hate. Like, they shoplifted in this episode from the store, they stole the dress, and I was like, I like, it just I don't know, that's gonna get found out. I
well,
don't know
what
how,
d you
but
watched the episode that just aired on Friday, right?
yeah, why?
Did you see the end?
Yeah. Did she donate it?
No. Are you sure you watched the most recent episode?
Yes, I just watched it. What are you
O
talking about?
with
They're
Lottie?
donating stuff to charity.
Yeah, and then at the end.
Yeah, I saw what happened to Lottie.
Okay, we saw what happened to Lottie. Okay, good.
Are you talking about the dress? I'm talking about the dress.
Yes, the dress that they stole.
Is she in the dress? She's not in the dress.
No, but Lottie is now dead,
Gone,
apparently.
yes. Yeah,
Adult Lottie.
we
Um,
think, yeah.
there's something she was leaving her bank and could because
Yeah.
I think they said, "Thank you for banking with us." And
Wait,
remember,
we're
like,
not there yet.
it's
Wait, hold, if we're
okay,
gonna
sorry,
talk
we're
about
jumping ahead.
that. Yeah.
But that was the dress thing, like, the shopping, it reminded me of that, like, how she seems to have all this money, like, from her cult, but then she shoplifts and she's teaching Callie too. That was very bizarre, I agree. That was just so strange.
And
Um,
also, why do we get the sleepover scene, and then, obviously, as soon as Misty falls asleep, they're gonna talk about stuff, but we don't get any of that on camera? What are you
no,
talking
we
about?
just see
That's
them
what we're
watching
waiting for.
some parody of a reality show. Yeah,
So do they not talk? Does
right.
Lottie not answer questions? And
Why
then
did
why
Lottie
hasn't she
drug
listened to the tape? What's going
Callie
on?
drugged Misty so that she would fall asleep.
And then we don't get
And then we
the
don't get to
benefit of
see
that.
if Lottie told her secrets
Yeah,
about what
that's
happened in the woods. Was it just because Misty was annoying to them? And I felt so bad for her. She's never been to a
I know.
sleepover, and then they drug her. Make me
Misty's
bad.
getting a raw deal this season,
Oh,
but let me ask you, why then is okay, if they're okay, if the purpose of drugging someone is to get to have this conversation, right? Obviously, Callie is, like, chomping at the bit to really know what happened in the
mhm,
wilderness. She wants the story, and
mhm.
yet somehow she hasn't listened to that cassette tape yet?
Right.
It
That's very
opens at episode 1.
yeah.
We are now episode 4, and she has not listened to that tape. She just keeps, like, what, marveling at it? What's
Right.
wrong? What's going
No,
on?
that's very, very strange.
it doesn't line up with her actions and her character. Her
Yeah.
character is wanting to know so badly that she's willing to drug someone to find out. And,
Uh-huh.
like, nope.
Mhm. What, Jennifer's making a good point that, like, the trauma has made them that they need to do things that cause an adrenaline high, which is
Okay.
why, like,
Right,
rich people shoplift all the time, I think,
right.
because of, like, their own issues, or
Yeah,
something need to be in
it's a whole
control of
thing in the
something, and
brain,
they need
yeah.
the adrenaline rush. Maybe
Mhm.
she's never seen a cassette before. Maybe she doesn't know how to play a cassette tape.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, she doesn't have, like, a
maybe
boombox.
she can't go find her mom's old stereo or something. It just
Yeah.
feels like with the stuff in the house that somebody's gonna have a cassette player somewhere. I
Yeah,
just feel
or
like
a
someone's
Walkman.
gonna have one. Or
Yeah.
Goodwill, I don't know,
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah. Um, okay.
I feel
Coach
like if she really wanted to find a way to play it, I guess is what I'm saying,
she
you'd
would.
figure out how to play it.
She
Because,
hasn't
yes,
given
she
it to
probably
her
doesn't have
mom.
one, but she also has the internet, and she can be like, eBay. You, like, find a way to
Yeah.
get a cassette
She
player.
hasn't given it to her mom, and it was for her mom, so she's
Right.
obviously planning to listen to it or watch it, but she
Yeah.
listened to it. It's a cassette tape, right? So,
Yes.
okay. Coach Ben, who is he talking to in the cave? Has he
That was
gone
my one question for
crazy?
this episode. Who is Coach Ben talking to?
Is it the same person that Javi made friends with when he was living in the caves?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Jackie's parents for sure have a cassette player. I think we saw it in her room. Because they still have her room. Oh, it could be a little tape that went with the video camera. I'm not 100% sure. Wow, a
Who is
lot of
Coach Ben?
people still have cassette tapes or Walkmans. Um,
Who is Coach Ben talking to?
yeah, who is Coach Ben talking to? And is it the same person Javi was talking to that made Javi made friends with? Or has he just got needs company, so he has an imaginary friend? Or is it the gas that made him like he was getting the gas leak? Who is Cabin Daddy's daughter though? We need that answered because we need that episode. It's frustrating. He's talking I don't
Why are they eating bats if he has food from the well, he probably doesn't have enough food from the
I think you still have to supplement with other foods or you're
with
gonna
bat.
run out because you don't know
Okay,
how long you're gonna be there. So you're still gonna
okay.
eat some bats. Could he be talking to Crystal? Crystal is definitely dead, but maybe he's
Her
talking
body
to
did get
Crystal.
moved, which was
Yeah.
weird.
Maybe he's talking to Crystal, who is now decomposed because it's warm, like Shauna was talking to Jackie's body, but she was frozen.
Boy, I have a lot of questions, but he definitely hears things in the caves, which is
Yes,
they all
which
hear
could be
that,
the
like,
gas,
that
but they're
sound, yeah.
they're all hearing the shrieking in the woods.
I
I
don't know, I
don't
feel like that's a red herring. I feel like that's gonna be something like gas mains or something that's, like, causing a sound,
Yeah,
but
you
I
just
could
don't
be
think it
wrong.
was you don't think there's anything supernatural going on.
No, I'm not sure. I hope not because it's an easier out, so
Why
I
did they crash
hope
there?
not,
Like,
but
that seems to me to be something supernatural because
yeah,
their compass when they were traveling, in season 1 to try to find help, the compass was going all
it's
crazy.
going crazy.
That
There's
makes me think
something
that's
there,
why they crashed the plane. So is there like a magnetic force,
right?
something that could have to do with the mining, like,
Yes.
but maybe is
I'm wondering if that KUH is important.
right.
I have not watched any videos on this series. I've been a very good girl
It's,
until we talked about it.
potassium,
I will,
uranium, hydrogen.
after this, be going to look at other people's theories, but I
Yeah.
was good and did not look at any. I'm trying to not
I
do
didn't
that
look
before we
either at
record.
any
Okay.
theories. All I was looking is like, why does Natalie look so different in the woods over from the first season to now?
They had her hair grow instead of growing like how your hair grows a half an inch a month, they had it grow 4 inches. So
Yeah.
now her roots, which were here, are here. No one's hair is
Well,
growing that
it's been
fast.
months, but she is not getting nutrients in
No,
the
no,
woods.
but it's not growing. I guess I'm saying they gave her like a 4-inch outgrowth instead
Yeah.
of like a 2-inch outgrowth. Does
Yeah, I
anyone
agree.
it's
No,
wild.
there are Reddit threads that literally are like hair growth and, roots growing and what like people are analyzing it. You're not the only one, if that
But
makes
is
you
it
feel
done on
better.
purpose? Are they doing that to tell us something? Is time speeding up?
No, but maybe there is nutrient rich soil from the magnetic force and that's giving
How
her
are also, all of their
biotin.
faces are very clean, their clothes are dirty, but their faces are clean. I would like to know how they're washing their faces and where they're getting water, but that's fine. I'm
Well, they have the lake that they still seem to be by. So that's where they're getting water and bathing. But remember the lake from
Are
season 1.
they near the lake?
Yeah, I think they stayed pretty
You have
close to
not
where the
seen them
cabin
go
burned
back
down.
to the lake. I would always be at the lake. I would be at the lake looking for boats constantly. I would be at the lake.
Well, that's where they, Javi died and where that moose that they almost caught. Like
Is
they
that
go
a
to
lake or is it a coast?
No, it's a lake, I think.
Oh, then I wouldn't be at the lake.
Yeah.
If it was a coast, I'd be at
It's
the
a lake,
coast.
I believe, because it's fresh water, because they can drink it. So, it's not
That's convenient.
seawater.
Okay.
Um,
Anyways, we don't know who Coach Ben is
there's
talking
just
to.
a lot going there's something going on with Natalie. And I agree there's things that, look a little different. Um,
Everybody looks different, though.
yeah, she looks the most different to me.
She
Shauna's
does.
hair has gotten lighter too in the
Shauna looks very different.
um,
Um, it's fine. So is this the episode when Shauna and Melissa kiss? Is it episode 3? Episode
yeah.
3 is when that happens? 'Cause we're moving into episode
No, in
3.
episode 2 when they kiss at the
Okay.
very end, yeah.
Um, I don't know, I was annoyed. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
annoyed
annoyed
too.
because I don't know her. I'm like, "Okay, you're here now, and, like, this is not Shauna is not behaving well, and this is not gonna help, I don't think. It might help, but it feels like it's not gonna help. It feels like it feels I don't get her vibe. Melissa's throwing me off. I can't
It
figure her
is,
out.
well, because last season, they brought in new people who we were supposed to believe have been there the whole time.
Mhm,
Melissa, Jen with a G,
mhm.
and Crystal. Now Crystal is bye-bye. Melissa is now with Shauna. Jen still is
So,
hunting, I guess.
Jen is the hunter that because Nat
Um,
taught her to hunt, and they're doing some exposition in the
and then
solstice. Yeah.
there's a new girl who's always, like, just standing there, and she started crying during the trial, and we don't know her name yet, I don't think. Um, she's clearly new, but again, supposed to have been there the whole time, that's fine. Um, but I don't like when they bring in people and then suddenly make them important, so I guess I'm glad they brought in Melissa last season, and now they're having her be
Yeah.
important because that
Melissa
would
has been
annoy
there.
me more.
Yeah.
You agree? Like, if they just brought her in and then like, she's been there. We've seen
But
the backwards hat.
I don't trust her weird sort of Shauna worship is odd to me.
What's
About how,
interesting.
like, you should be the queen. It
Yeah.
reminds me of, like, Wormtongue in you haven't seen Lord of the Rings. It reminds me of, like, a whisperer, like, when there's, like, somebody that's important, and then there's
Yeah,
somebody being like, "Ps, ps, ps, you
I
could
know
do
what
it
you're
so
talking
much
about.
better."
Yeah,
That's, like, kind of
yeah,
the vibe I'm getting, this weird little, like, side person. So
yes.
I could be wrong, but I'm getting a weird thing from Melissa.
No, I think that would be very interesting if it was
Mhm.
like that.
'Cause she's doing that. She's already, like, kind of
Yeah,
putting ideas in Shauna's head of,
mhm.
like, "Yeah, I don't know, like, you're so powerful," and that power word is triggering everyone right now, so
But,
it's
like,
not good.
also Taissa seems to be jealous of how Natalie's like, she would wish she was running things and running things better.
I hate this. I hate it. I
So,
can't
they're all
stand it.
kind
I don't
of
know if it was a good idea to have somebody in charge. I gotta be honest. Like, just make Lottie the cult leader and the leader, and
Yeah, but
then
she gave
everyone
it
can
up because the
fake their
wilderness
way
stopped
through it.
talking to her, she said. She said it stopped talking to her, I think when she got beaten up and almost died. And
Okay. Oh,
and
that's
they
right, she
kills
got beaten up
Javi,
and
and
almost
that's
died.
not what she wanted. Like,
Why did
Ha
she get beaten up? Who beat her? Shauna beat her up.
Shauna beat her up, and then they did the hunt so that she wouldn't die, so that they would like not starve, because they said one of us has to die and we have to eat you because we can't lose Lottie because she's our leader and she talks to the wilderness. So they did the hunt, and then
Right.
Javi died. And when she woke up and found out, she was pretty upset because she's like, that's not what I wanted. She didn't, they created the hunt thing without her while she was passed out.
So what did they get for the baby dying? Who survived when the baby died?
Um,
Why did the baby have to die? Has someone broken this down? I'm gonna look
well,
online.
the baby would have died probably anyway, but
No, that doesn't feel right. That
well,
feels like Wilderness took that baby.
yeah, definitely. I think the wilder. What's weird is Lottie kept thinking the baby was going to survive and had like named, like they had decided it was a boy, and the wilderness, it was going to be very important. And then it died, and then she was wrong. So it's like she did not understand what the wilderness was telling her because
Okay.
she's not right. Um, Danielle from the Traders is Melissa vibes. What I know what I was gonna say about that is that a lot of people theorize that Shauna was sort of secretly in love with Jackie, and that's where a lot of like this jealousy came from, or why she was sleeping with Jeff was because she really wanted to be with Jackie. Um, Even though she kind of hated Jackie too, and like wanted to be her own person without Jackie. But so it's interesting that they're exploring like bisexuality, or that she's finally like, I don't know. It's just interesting.
It could be. I feel like also people are saying that maybe because of who Jackie is played by.
Right, 'cause yeah, everyone loves her. So,
Right.
yeah.
I could be wrong.
Or it's like
Home.
prison rules and everyone just explores their bisexual side in the wilderness. Um, Wait, there's a very important message here that okay, Finley, there is a hidden message in the ice cream shop voicemail when you call. Morse code translated to the screams are not what they seem. Well, that's another one of those things that doesn't help us at all.
Oh, I have questions. Hold, please continue amongst yourselves. I
Yeah.
have a cat emergency and I have someone who needs to leave. Hold on.
Oh, okay. She has to let a cat out. Um, it's not it's not that was another quote from last season was, "It's not evil, it's just hungry like us." That was when Natalie was dying and she was imagining herself in the plane, and they said, "It's not evil, it's just hungry like us." But is there an it or not? There's no it. There isn't it. We don't know. Um, Everyone was bi in the 90s. Yeah, so the birds happened when they were having that baby shower for uh Shauna in season 1, and she bled onto the baby blanket with the symbol on it. She got like a nosebleed that and she got a nosebleed and the blood landed on the symbol on the blanket, and that's when all of the birds crashed into the cabin. I don't know if that was your question, but that's what happened. Um that might just be an ice scream joke. Wait, Katie, you're muted.
Have we seen any of the symbol this season? Because I've been looking for it. Did I miss it?
No, we really haven't had anything from the symbol except
There was something Coach Ben was doing with the trap, and he did it really quickly, and I was like, "Oh, is that the
the trap
symbol?"
was definitely the symbol, because we saw like an overview shot of it, and the way he was doing the trap had a circle and a triangle, and it
It
definitely
did.
looked like the symbol.
Okay, okay.
Um, but
So
other than that, we haven't had a lot of. I wonder
is
if
the symbol a trap?
I mean, whoever lived in the cabin daddy drew the symbol all over. I just did a rewatch. I can't take credit for my good memory. But
She
thank
has a
you.
really good memory.
I do have a good memory,
Really.
but not that good. Um,
Well, on the slap bracelet,
oh,
Finley
the
said
slap
there's
bracelet.
something
Okay, I
similar.
almost brought out my slap bracelet. I forgot to wear it. I have a slap
Well,
bracelet
we're
from the
in episode 3, so should we talk about first of all, obviously Natalie knows, right? She's veering Misty away from where Coach Ben is. So
Mm,
Natalie knows.
I
But
don't think she knew where he was. I think she just knew that he was alive.
right. Yes, because she sees the traps and she
Yeah,
knows because they used to, right.
yeah,
So, I don't, but I do think that I don't, I think she's pretty sure he didn't set the fire.
yeah, I agree.
Probably because, I mean, one of them, or no one said it, or Cabin Daddy said it. Something very bad is about to happen to Coach, but we'll get there in a second.
I really don't
The
want anything bad to happen
I
to Coach.
think I know what it is, and I hope I'm wrong. So, because I did watch the preview for episode 5, and I'm like, "That better not be what happens." So, regardless, the end of this episode is the most interesting part of the season so far, right? Because we
Mhm.
have the dream sequence, and then we have real life Van and Ty in the restaurant, which the Morse code says real screams are not true. What is it? Something about
Uh,
scream?
the screams are not the screams are not what they seem. But then someone said that another pod was trying to clean up the audio and they got "It's hungry," which makes sense because Thaisa says it wants more. So when they went to the ice cream shop and she saw that fox. It was a
That's weird.
fox, right?
It looked like a fox, yeah, or
So
coyote.
dark. I had to turn the TV lightning up all the way.
Oh,
Maybe
weird,
I'm
okay.
just not don't have good vision because I keep
No,
having
no, no.
devices. It's so dark.
It depends. I have a lot of shows like that. For some reason, mine isn't that dark. I don't know why. Okay, so hold on. In the dream sequence, what did I miss that is important? The slap bracelet was weird. Why is it
Yeah,
around Shauna's neck?
it was around Shauna's neck. Well, Jackie was using it and then
Yes.
she gave it to uh Aquila
Tequila.
and then it wound up around Shauna's neck and was choking her and cutting her throat. And blood was coming out. Oh, and then what was interesting about that is someone said, "Help her," and I think Aquila said, "I can't," or it was Van said, "I can't," and Jackie, I believe, said, "If you don't help her, then we all die." Um, and then so it was like,
Oh, that's interesting.
"If you don't help her, then we all die." Wait.
What does that mean?
I f It's sort of like, oh, okay. In that dream, Lottie's like the teacher of the class, and
Mhm.
she writes on the board, "Of all the ways to lose a person, death is the kindest."
Right.
And then she says, "There is only one dream," which and then so that
There's only one timeline.
there's only one dream, like, we're all having a
Or we're
collective
all right.
dream, a collective,
Or,
imagination.
like, what's about to happen is we are about to get the rescue scene at the very end of the series, and they are all still strapped into their seats in the plane,
Right,
and the rescue team comes in, and they've all been unconscious the whole time,
right.
but it
And the whole
hasn't
thing has
been,
been a dream.
but then you wouldn't have them all sitting there for months and months. They were found months later, so that can't be it.
Yeah, you're totally right. They
Right.
legitimately were found months and months, unless they all just died. And this is all their afterlife dream, which is kind of where Lost was going. Um,
Yes.
but like the whole thing, like if you don't save her, we all die, does make me think they're all in some collective. It felt very like Nightmare on Elm Street, or like if you die in the dream, then you die in real life. But like they all
Or are
died
they all
together.
in Shauna's dream? Is this
Are they
all Shauna's?
totally?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very strange. The llama was strange. Um, the
Yeah.
llama that talked. Um, I got nothing.
I don't understand the animal significance. I don't know a lot about what
For
llamas
Aquila,
mean,
because she's, like, raising the animals. She's
but
not
does
raising
a
llamas,
llama mean
though.
something? Is a
Right.
llama significant of something that we're not? getting. And then who else's dream? What is happening with Van? Is Van have any special part by herself? I don't remember Van's.
Vance goes and sits in the what appears to be the cabin, and she sits by the
Yeah.
fire, and then the ground kind of like straps her in, and then she gets starts to be choked from like zombie hands from behind her that are making her stay in the cabin, and then it catches on fire and she runs to the door, and then that's where her
So
part.
I thought at that point that Vance started the fire because she's in the fire of the cabin.
That could
Maybe
be.
not maybe not consciously,
She's the one
but
who took the longest to get out, and I remember we analyzed it a lot at the end of the last season, was like it took her so long to get out, and then for some reason she's like, "Go, Thaisa, I'll get out." And then like she why did she have to stay? Like what was
and
she
she should be the most afraid, right? Because she almost burned to death in the plane.
and again, she almost
And again,
burned after the wolves.
because they thought she
So
was dead.
because they thought she was dead. So look who is doing something to me. I've never watched the show, but I would listen to you talk about anything. It's fine. Um, go watch the show. I don't want to tell you to leave. I love that you're here, but like,
Shauna says the arms grabbing her in the dream are Javi, Jackie, Cabin Man, and Laura Lee. Are you sure about that?
no, we don't see faces, but it's.
But is that like the arms we're representing? I'm gonna go back and look at that. I wonder.
I mean, it felt very much like when Jackie dies and she is in the cabin and they give
Mhm.
her hot chocolate, and
Interesting. They do.
which
Yes, they
is what
do.
the coach gives Mari in the cave. Um,
Oh god, you're right.
oh,
What's
Shauna
going
says
on?
the sleeves are theirs.
That's
So the
interesting.
sleeves are Javi's. That's very good eye. Jackie's, Cabin Man, and Laura Lee. Um,
I just thought Cabin Daddy. I didn't think anybody else. So that is very interesting. Sorry. And someone else here says, oh, yeah, Julia said in the dream cabin scene, the fire starts with an ember from the fireplace.
right.
Hmm. So are we supposed to believe that that's how the fire started? Because I kind of believe it was Van. Van is the fire one. Van is sort of.
I think it was something supernatural that started the fire. I don't know why they pissed off the woods, but the woods took that away from them, their shelter. And so I think it was something like the smoke monster that caused an ember to start the fire.
Was
That's
it
what I think it
because not everyone was partaking or believing?
could
Because
be.
Coach Scott wasn't? I don't
And
know.
Shauna didn't believe, and Thaisa was only half believing. So, um,
Yeah,
oh, there
because it's.
was a Letterman's jacket sleeve. So that is Jackie. Good
Mhm.
eye, people. Again,
Very good.
so
Very
dark on
good.
my screen. Um, yeah, I don't know who started the fire. Billy Joel, Kim Jim said, which
Billy
is,
Joel. Yeah.
um, w- yeah,
But it's been
Mari.
always burning since
I
the
don't
world's
know if
been
the hot
started.
chocolate means anything that the coach gave
I feel like it does. I
Mari,
feel like hot
or if
chocolate
it's one
means
of those weird things to mess with our heads that Jackie was given hot chocolate when she died. And at the when Laura Lee not when Laura Lee died, Lottie had that vision where they went to the mall and
did they have
she
hot
was
chocolate?
no, it was Chinese food. They gave
Mm.
her a plate of Chinese food and they said, "Eat something." And she was like about to take a bite. And then Laura Lee was like, "You need to wake up. You need to leave," because she was outside frozen in the snow. And so before she got to eat anything, she woke up. So she didn't die. So a lot of people have speculated like you have to eat something before you die. Although, like, Laura Lee did not eat anything when she got into the plane, or, so she didn't have a vision where she ate something and died. Poor Laura Lee did not even get a death vision. She just blew up.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought that bear, Mr. Berenson or whatever her bear's name was,
Her flammable bear,
Mr.
Leonard.
Mr. Leonard, yeah,
Mhm.
that's it. I don't know why I gave him a Mr. name. I made him proper.
Right.
Um,
Professor
Leonard
Leonard.
Leonard Leonard Berenson.
Uh-huh.
So when Miss Dr. Leonard Berenson Esquire blew up, I thought for sure he was gonna show up somewhere else. I
Yeah.
thought for sure he was gonna show up, and he
Well,
has
he
not
was in
shown up yet.
Lottie's vision, but
That doesn't
It
count.
doesn't count.
I thought, like, the bear was gonna show up.
Yeah.
We have not they
Oh,
have not
like
done
the talking that would have been great instead of the talking llama if it was the talking
that.
teddy
Have
bear or
Dr.
something.
Berenson. Yeah,
Yeah,
have the bear come.
Leonard. Um, I don't know if it
Also
was
known as Leonard.
I don't think it was other Ty that started the fire because she was fully asleep in the cabin. But
I'm gonna
someone,
go back
like,
and watch that really carefully.
someone locked them in. Shauna was upstairs journaling in the attic. She smelled smoke. No one else did. And they were all sleeping downstairs, and she started screaming and woke them up. The doors were all like, I think that's why I think it was supernatural. Like the doors were all
Or
like
Cabin
locked.
Daddy's daughter.
Cat, we keep talking about this Cabin Daddy's daughter,
We
who
don't know
I
if
don't know
we don't know if there's anyone
if there
there. We
is
don't
a
know.
real person that's alive or dead or a ghost. What we don't know.
We don't
Um,
know.
but it did seem, and then they had to like break with an axe like through the door, like The Shining, because the doors were all locked suddenly. So
Right.
it's very yeah, if her bear caught on fire spontaneously because of the wilderness,
Right.
that was not spontaneous. Like that to me is supernatural. Like that her bear just suddenly catches fire in the plane. So that to me means the cabin caught fire simultaneously, spontaneously because of some supernatural force. Like I don't believe it was Coach Ben.
No,
But
I
it
don't
would be a
it
great
definitely
twist
wasn't, but,
if it
let me
was
tell you
one of the
something that's
girls.
weird. Sorry?
It would be a great twist if it was one of the girls, but I don't know why they would do that.
I think it is one of the girls, either consciously or unconsciously, but if I had to guess right now, I'd say it's one of the girls, but I think Melissa is my top suspect at this point to, like, pit people against, or Shauna. I don't know. I've just got thoughts. Here's the deal. I think co the I don't know if you picked up on this, but Mari asks him about, like, "How did you not know the cabin was burning? Like, how did you?" Because he does he not know that the cabin burned
He
down?
was far away, and she's like, "You didn't even smell it?"
And he's like, "No, that is important. You would know, Kimberly. You would know if there was a blazing fire. You would know." I think that's important, that, like, that does lean more towards supernatural because he would have smelled it. He would have
Mm.
known.
Yeah, there have been a lot of fire clues. What did Van run back inside to get? Was it, that thing that she thinks saved her that, like,
Was it the cards?
was it the car oh, it was the cards. I
Mhm.
think it was the cards. He was in the caves, though, so if he was underground,
But we
then
don't know
he
if
would.
he'd gotten to the caves by then. He had just left that night, right?
Right, but he had already found the secret hiding place.
Okay, so maybe.
So, I
Maybe.
just don't believe he did it, and we saw him
He
picking up
didn't do it. I'm
we
saying it's
saw him
weird.
picking up matches, which was a total, like, red
That's a
herring.
red herring, yeah.
Yeah. Um, they said it burned for 10 days. Can someone explain to me? They said we all Natalie made sure we all tended the fire for 10 days. Was she saying, like, to make sure it didn't burn the whole forest down, or were they, like, keep stoking the fire? Like, why, so that someone would come, see the smoke, and come rescue them?
Oh, good point. I'm not sure what they meant by tending the fire.
They are tending or stoking the fire for 10 days,
I would
and
say
Natalie was, like, in charge of it.
watching, making sure that it's not spreading and the forest catches on fire.
They did do that big pan out, though, out when the fire was going, and the
Mhm.
huge plumes of smoke, which made me think they thought someone would come to get them. It also did keep them warm during this
Right.
because they were still in the middle of winter, but then it broke and they got spring. So maybe just to keep them warm. Keep them warm. Okay. Keep them warm.
But they lost all their clothes and items and stuff.
That would actually keep them warm. Yeah.
Okay.
He did talk to Natalie before the fire, but that was, daytime, and that was before night when the fire went, and he said, "Come with me. I found a place to stay. You don't belong with them." And she says, "I let Javi die for me. I'm worse than them." And
Mm.
That's why Natalie was so messed up in the present and had all those demons because she feels like she let
It
Javi
might be one of the reasons. I think there's
one first
probably
reason, and then it just builds.
we're gonna build on that.
Yeah,
We've also seen her remember she accidentally kills her dad.
that he deserved it.
There's
He was
That's in
literally
real life, but, like,
he
yeah, that's in so I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff that happens
she
with
had a
her.
lot of demons already.
Can we go ahead and go to the trial? Because they go and get Coach Bennett, which first of all, if you didn't hate Mari before, you really hate her now.
I wrote in my notes, Mari still
Man,
sucks
yeah,
because
she
A, she
really
told
cannot.
on Coach, she
Yeah.
promised she wouldn't, and she did. And then in the freaking trial, she says he didn't even no, he didn't specifically admit to burning down the cabin. He fully told you he didn't. What the heck,
She's a
Mari?
monster.
You just
I'm not having it.
perjured yourself. If I didn't hate her before. She's just not a nice person. And I'm
That
sorry your little
character is very
cousin
well
died.
written,
Your
but
little cousin died of a brain tumor.
who's her sister? It might have been her
No, it's
sister.
her cousin.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and again, why did we have that story? Because so she could say the thing about like the different timelines,
Yes,
different
I think that's a
dimensions.
hint. I think the timelines are important. I think we're if you have not seen Dark on Netflix, you maybe need to go watch it
Dark
right
is
now.
so good.
Dark
It's
is so
so
good, and
good.
we have to do a whole separate series on that, and it will be a
I would love to.
year long
I don't know if we're smart
because
enough. I think we might need like a scientist to join us, like
okay, if anyone out there knows
a
science,
physicist or something.
we need a quantum physics,
Yeah.
time, space, mechanical engineer. That would
Yeah.
be great. Okay,
Yeah. A date with Dark. Yeah.
a date with Dark.
Mhm.
It would be our life's work, though.
Yeah. Mhm. They really are opus.
It
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, that would be it. It would
Yeah.
be, "Let's talk about Dark and break it down and try to get there."
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because I still am not I'm hazy on some things. Anyways,
oh,
okay, but maybe the 2 of us together could get there?
maybe.
Maybe. So,
With all of you in the comments, I think we
we
could.
need other people, we can't
Yeah.
do it alone. For
Mhm.
sure can't.
Yeah.
Let's go to this nonsense trial, them going to capture so Shauna's out for blood for why? Because Ben didn't help her with the birth, which
Which happened
okay.
a long time ago. I
Well,
think she's just angry at the whole group
she's
and
angry at the wo she
at the
Shauna
world.
is just looking at people to take her anger out of. Like,
Yes. Like when
that's
she beat up Lottie to get her anger out, it
right,
just didn't help.
right.
She still has more.
No,
Um no one's thinking logically about this Coach Ben thing, and
at
it's
all.
driving me crazy. Um, because at least I know you're in a cannibalistic society that you've created where there's wilderness telling you to do things, but like, let's have some sense of law and order, please. You're gonna have a trial. You made robes for yourselves. It's just like,
I think they literally can't I think they feel bad about what they're doing, and Coach Ben's presence is a constant reminder that they are doing something that's pretty gnarly,
I think
right?
when they say like he was judging us, he
Yes, I
was,
think
but I think they were judging themselves as well. Like,
100%. That is,
yeah,
like, self stuff, and they don't need someone telling them what they're doing is wrong or pointing a finger at like, do you know what I'm saying? They're
yeah.
doing something that is ostensibly terrifying, right? And
And
so
going along with the whole, "Is there an it? Is there a wilderness that's telling them to do
right,
something?" And it doesn't matter because they chose to do it, and they have convinced themselves that this thing has told them to do this, to take the onus off of themselves and the guilt off of themselves for the things
right.
they're doing. But yes, Coach Ben being there, giving them like like scared look, like, "Are you gonna
The
eat me
side eye.
next? Are you gonna eat me next?" Like, I'm just here on one leg, like I think you're exactly right. And so having them, they don't want a voice of reason. Yeah.
No, they don't. They wanna believe in this wilderness stuff, and he's not buying it, and so he's judging them on multiple reasons too, right?
Mhm.
They're fallen into this sort of interesting wilderness religion,
Mhm.
and they've also taken to eating their friends.
Mhm.
There's a few things happening that they
Mm.
feel like he's not into, and it makes them feel bad about it, so he's gotta go, which is
Also,
very
if
astute
they
of the show writers.
yes, and also if they think they are going to get back to society,
Right.
they all need to have the same level of guilt, because if he comes back
That's a
with
great
them
point. Yes.
if he comes back
Yes.
with them, then
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
you didn't need to eat your friends to survive. He didn't do it. And then
Right.
you have that guilt in the
Mhm.
present tense, in back in society with you. So that would make them feel even worse. And so I don't think they would ever even let him come back to society with them.
Mhm.
Yeah, he does represent adults too, like, this is their first time of not having people telling them what to do, although all of them have had adults that have disappointed them. It seems like all of them had not great things
Some
at
of them. We
home.
don't know. We haven't seen all of
We
them,
haven't
have
seen
we?
all
Yeah.
of them,
Yeah.
but, like, some of them this is they're teenagers too, their frontal lobes are not fully developed, and then you have an adult man who's trying to tell them what to do in this matriarchal society that they have now set up. Javi is a man too, but he's not trying to take control of anything. And so, like, in the first season, when Coach Ben is like, Laura Lee, you're not going to fly that plane. And she's like, what are you going to do to stop me? That was the moment he lost all respect from the group, because even Laura Lee, who's like the nice Christian girl, said no to him.
That's a really yeah,
And
that
like,
could have
he
been it.
lost all control over the group at that
Right.
moment.
Okay, the trial of Coach Ben. This is the worst. The worst. I just had such a horrible feeling. I didn't
I'm I'm upset. Okay, so
Why did
Mari's a
they say one
liar
drunk Javi? Why was the episode called 12 Angry Girls and One
and
Drunk
drunk
Javi?
Travis, I thought it said.
Or
Drunk
Drunk Travis. Yeah,
Travis.
what does
Yeah, I
that
don't
mean?
well, it's like a, uh, 12 Angry Men,
Of
but
course.
I
But why is
Travis
he drunk?
nothing really happened with
What did
Travis.
we miss?
They put these funny titles, and the descriptions are also very, like, it'll be like, "So and so goes for a walk," and it's like something insane happened. Have you ever read the descriptions?
I have, I
Like,
forgot about that. Yeah, they do that
um,
all the time.
so
I lost my marker.
okay. So, I don't know what the drunk Travis part
How
means.
did I lose my marker? How did that happen? Oh my gosh. I yeah, it's not
Oh,
here.
what was the weird close-up on Akila's rabbit during the trial? It goes to Akila,
It
she's
looks
holding
scared.
it loo yeah, I
Scared
was
like a rabbit? Oh, I don't know. That's a
why
good
and then
point.
the camera pans down, and it's just the rabbit that she's holding. It's something Are they gonna kill the rabbit? Which,
How do you
I
spell rabbit? What's wrong
I'm a
with me? It's 2 B's.
Rabbit, but I'm sure they have killed the rabbits. They're breeding the rabbits to eat, I'm sure. But, like, no, in 12 Angry Men, someone actually, like, it's reverse what happened. It's like the reverse of peer pressure. Like, they're all kind of one way, but then someone logically convinces them one by one that it's not what they thought it was. So, it's
Hmm.
like the reverse peer pressure. Um, Coach is the rabbit. Rabbits will be sacrificed like Coach. So the rabbit is symbolic of Coach.
Yeah, what's like a rabbit idiom? What's like a
Well, they breed like rabbits.
but
They're
what's
they're just prey. They're slow. You know, the rabbit and the hare and
the tortoise and the hare is
the
fast.
tortoise was
Yeah.
slow, the hare was fast. I think
Okay.
that's it, just like they're saying new life. It's symbolic of new
It
life
also
that
could
will
go
be
back to, like,
sacrificed.
the trap, right? Caught in the trap.
Yes, he
Like,
was setting that
if you
trap, and
think
now
that
he's gonna
those
trap
that sign of the what we've been calling a girl is actually a trap,
fertility.
then that
Babe
could
was like,
be Coach Ben. There's no way that Coach Ben is Callie's dad, right? They're not
"No,
gonna do that, are they?
no, he's gay." Do you think they have him, like, as the breeder? Like, they're gonna start a new
This is my
society?
question.
They would use Travis, not Coach.
They would, right?
If they were going to start a new society and they needed male seed,
They would
first of
use
all,
Travis.
everyone would be related because if they were only using one man, so everyone would be
Yeah, I'm not saying that Coach Ben
relieved.
is down for it. I'm
No,
saying
they would
okay,
force Coach Ben, but I
correct.
don't think I don't know why they would wanna do that. That would be more mouths to feed, and it
Right.
wouldn't help their survival to have babies. So
No,
I
not at
don't
all.
think they would want to do
Okay.
that. But that would be crazy, but I don't think they're trying to
I hope that's not that better
worry
not. That'd
about the
be
new
jumping the shark.
generation.
That'd be
No.
jumping the shark. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Alright.
It is
Okay.
symbolic of the rabbit stew. Yes, there's the whole rabbit thing because
Oh, and then
Jackie was
Shauna
the
with the
rabbit.
rabbit.
Well, no,
Shauna with
Jackie
the
was the
rabbit.
rabbit. Jackie was the rabbit. So Jackie said she didn't like all the rabbit stuff, but her parents were obsessed with thinking she liked rabbits, so they kept giving her Shauna rabbit stuff every year on her birthday
Oh
to
my god,
represent
rabbits keep
Jackie,
coming up.
and then she killed the rabbit and then made the stew out of it because she hates the rabbits and all the rabbit tchotchkes that are from Jackie's parents. So the rabbit technically represents Jackie, or like the ghost of Jackie.
So the rabbit in Akila's arms is watching and being like,
Is it Jackie watching, being like, "You're
"Yeah,
doing to him what you did to me. You put me out in the cold, and I became popsicle." Although
yeah."
she that don't get me started. Um, yeah, this trial was very upsetting. There was I don't know. Do they do mock trial? Who? Why do people know? I don't. They've watched a lot of Law and Order. Um,
Yeah, they all know how to do it now.
they
There's, like,
they
whole yeah,
um
there's mock
I
court
mean,
and all
not
sorts of
well, but, they're just going by their emotions, and, like, I thought Misty did a very good job.
Misty
Um
was the perfect I love that Natalie was like, "Misty, it's gotta be you,"
Mhm.
and I thought that was great, and oh, I did not like the way this went. I
I
knew it was
just
gonna be Shauna. I was like, "Shauna's gonna try to do something weird here," and I also did not know why they were doing a raised hands vote. Natalie messed up, and Natalie needed to somehow do it where you go into a private area, everybody has sticks, you put your stick in the guilty basket or the not guilty basket, but
anonymous.
nobody gets to watch you vote.
Yeah,
It is your private vote, so you're not
100%.
pressured by everyone else. You can vote
Also
your own mind.
also in a jury, deliberation, you
Mhm.
have to discuss in between votes to get someone to change their mind. You don't just keep going, "Again, let's vote again," like, hoping
I
someone
was
will
mad at
change
Nat
their
for that.
mind.
I was mad
You
at
have
Nat. I was
to
like, "Nat, slow it down.
deliberate.
Have the arguments again. Have both Misty and Ty make arguments again." Shauna doesn't get to speak.
No.
No.
And you can't
Shut
just
all that
bully
down.
someone into it, like, they're, like, hitting Jen to get her to change her mind, like, it was all BS. Yeah,
Well, why
and
is
I agree, it
Shauna
should have
just wants
been
to see people in pain, which is really, like,
that's
bugging
why
me.
she's just I think she's just is, like, she in so much pain, she wants others
Yes.
in pain,
Yes, 100%.
because
Yeah,
she's
I
gone
think
through
that's
so
what
much
they're
trauma, or is she just, like, a bad person?
uh, question mark. I don't know. It could be either or both at this
I'm
point,
still
but
mad she ruined Jeff's business deal with those jerks and then said she was gonna make some basket with Misty to make up for it, and then we never saw what happened with that, if she made of them a basket or if they
I'm
took
mad
Jeff
that she
back.
yelled at Misty to get see, this is why Shauna is being horrible in both timelines right now. She yells at Misty
She
to
thinks
get and
Misty
not
cut
that
her
Miss
brakes.
because she doesn't wanna believe that that other person is still out there, right? So she needs to believe it's Misty. It's the same thing that she's doing in the wilderness, which is she needs other people to hurt. She's doing a different thing in the now timeline, which is, "I don't want this to be true, so I need this to be true." She's
So
on
she's
edge.
convinced herself that Misty was the yeah, she did say, "You left the phone for me." Um,
Yes.
and she thinks Misty cut brakes and then got into the car with the messed up brakes.
And then knows that didn't happen and then
Okay.
refuses to apologize.
Yeah, no.
Knows that and then when she
And
knows
let
that
her
that's
drive
not true,
drunk before that even happened. She
right?
let Misty drive drunk. That was so uncool. She could have
Yeah.
killed someone else on the road. I'm just so mad at her. She's being so annoying. And here we have Ty, who's like willing to kill a perfect stranger to give Van some more time. But like, I still hate Shauna more.
Yeah. Yeah, Shauna's really unlikable this season, which makes me think they're gonna kill Shauna.
Yeah, and I'd be fine. I put Team Freezer. Those business guys were sus. It was weird when they were like, "What happened there? What happened in the bathroom? What's going on?" Like, they were too interested in what happened with Shauna and the phone in the bathroom.
But also, why can't they just be interested? Like, what's the tea? What happened in the bathroom? It's actually kind of a creepy story, a perfect story to tell at a business meeting. Like, yeah, this was really weird. So the lights go out. I hear footsteps. Like,
Right.
think about this.
Instead, she goes, "Can we talk about something else, please?"
Right? She's
I
really
mean, they
just.
had been a jerk to her already. They were like, "Oh, a phone again at the table?" Like, they were being a jerk to her already, and so I get that she hates them because 'cause they're douches, but, like, yeah, Shauna could be the last one standing also. That could very well happen.
That is something that I saw in the preview for season 3. There is something about being the last one. There's something about that in the preview, if you haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Mm. Something about being the last.
Yeah, it was weird how they commented on her phone and then the thing in the phone
I thought
happened.
that they were in on the thing with the phone.
Yeah, that's what Shauna thinks, a different
Oh,
Shauna.
okay.
Um, yeah,
I
Bree
just need
says,
them to
"I've
make
been a
Shauna.
Shauna
I
hater
need
for too
Shauna
long."
to be more likable in one timeline, because
Yeah,
right now I'm just like, I think something horrible is about to happen to Ben based on the preview from next episode. I'm very, very nervous about it, and I
well,
don't.
that's yeah.
Do you want me to tell you?
No,
Why?
okay, sure, tell me.
I don't have to tell you.
Well, I mean, I'm just praying that they're not gonna kill him and eat him, but that's where it all is being led to, or
No,
drown him in the lake,
it's how they're gonna kill him.
bury him alive, set
No.
him on fire because he tried to set them on fire.
I just said that. I am I am just hoping with all the hopes I have that that is not real,
I
or
know.
that someone puts a stop to that. Please don't do that.
Ugh,
Please don't do that. I don't know if he makes it through this.
I know. Well, we thought he was definitely not gonna survive last season. Remember he got all depressed and was out of it, and then he walked towards the ledge? We had already thought he was gonna die,
But I
but
think this is setting in motion a whole spiral of things in the wilderness now. So I think during this spring, I think what's about to happen is Natalie is going to stick up for Coach Ben. What might happen is, though, they might let him choose exile or this, but it would
well,
mean.
no, because he was already exiling himself, and they went and got him. So I don't think they would give him that option.
But in order to give him exile, Natalie has to give up her crown. Like, Natalie says, "I will do this, and
Mm.
I will also exile myself."
They're
As
definitely turning on Natalie
Yes, she's
during this
on her
trial.
way out. So
She's
what
on her
I
way out.
think is about to happen is that maybe she goes with him. I doubt it. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember. Sorry, when I go back,
This
I
could
think
be when
about,
the 2 factions split into 2
'cause we
teams.
think there are 2 factions, right? And we
We
get a
did
little.
in the 1st season, we definitely thought they were gonna divide into 2 groups that were
I
rival,
think that still might happen, because in that first opening scene, remember
where they're
how many
playing the game,
is it s
2
do
teams
we see
against each
6
other.
across with the antler queen when they're eating the food and they're each
Oh,
the different
sorry, yeah.
animal? Is it 6 people? If you know what I'm talking about,
I
there is a
the opening scene of the whole show.
opening
Right.
scene of season 1, episode 1, when Pit Girl
It's
happens, and
definitely
then
less people than they have now.
it is for sure, which leads me to believe that you've got Antler Queen and then 1, 2, 3, and I think it's 4, 5, 6, so maybe it's 7 together,
Mhm.
which is just not enough people.
Right.
So,
And the
I
beginning of this season started when they're playing that game
that
against
game.
each other, and they're in 2 teams.
Yes, so I think the Believers or whatever or somebody is here, and then I think that there is another faction that goes away, but then I don't know why Natalie and Shauna and all these people would be friends now. I don't think that would be real.
Well, they're not really. They're not. They hadn't talked in a long time. They all agreed to stay out of the public eye and to, like, not tell what happened, and they were not talking to each other.
But it does
Van
seem
went
like
away,
you saw that,
Travis
like
went away.
but Ty goes to Shauna's house to, like, stay over when she's having a hard time, and it's like, "I'm
But that was
sleepwalking
after
again."
they got back together because of the blackmail. They had not talked for, like, years before then.
Okay, I don't know. So maybe I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think this thing with Coach Ben may lead to several of them splitting off, and then it would be and then maybe Shauna's about to take up the crown or someone else,
Well,
but probably
Natalie takes
Shauna.
off the crown
Yes.
during the trial, so that is probably symbolic of the end of her reign. And then when everyone finds out she kinda lied to them,
She didn't lie to
she
them, she
didn't lie,
just
but they just are
yeah.
mad, and so now they don't feel like they can trust her, and so now
Even though Coach Ben gave the best defense you could, I
and it
mean,
looks like they all turned and were like, "Oh," and they were all upset, and then
yeah,
they still some of them still voted, and I just am so mad. What the heck?
Shauna just wants to hate right now, and I'm just we how can we be ruled by her stupid emotions? Stop
But
it.
Thaisa's too, because Thaisa also was like, "Yeah, he did it," even after the speech.
What?
And
I hate that. Why? Give me a reason. Why?
um,
Why?
I don't
Don't
know.
wanna be judged. Don't wanna be judged by him. Oh,
Yeah, that's a Finley says, "I think they may have killed a survivor when they got back to keep them quiet." 100%. I think there's more people that came back. Well, we just keep finding out there's more people. Like, we found out Van survived in last season, and then now we find out maybe Melissa survived. So, but maybe there's somebody else that they killed because they were gonna tell what happened, and they had all agreed not to tell what happened.
I don't know.
Although, if you tell what happened, it doesn't look good for anybody, but you do get a $1,000,000 book deal.
That is true.
So,
Ooh, I have so many
why
questions.
did Lottie change her vote? Like, that doesn't make any sense because the wind, like, rustled and then she changed her vote. Like, since when is she swayed? Did she think the wilderness told her to do that?
Yes. Yes.
That's
So,
so dumb, and then
remember
Travis changes his vote because Lottie did.
because Lottie in, like, in real life is kind of like, the signs are pointing to this. Like, think about last season, right?
I
It's all about,
But
like
I thought the wilderness had kind of stopped talking to her, so
but I think that she's like, "Oh, what's happening here seems wrong, but maybe it's totally right." Like,
it's
it's
for
not
the
as
greater good,
right.
the
She's
the
got a
wilderness
weird
wants us to vote.
philosophy,
Yeah,
right? And so,
it's
I don't know. Do you think she's actually dead? Because that's how we end episode 4. Where
I
is
want
she?
her to be dead because 'cause I'm sick of her, sick of everyone in the adults, not Misty. Um,
She's a sacrifice or something? Because she's
was
on
she
a
a
steps
sacrifice
with candles.
when she was at the bank? It made me think, like, of that thing with Travis when she took over his money after he died, and she was doing
Oh.
that with, the people in her cult, but then I was like, "What did she just do? Did she just, like, liquefy her bank account
Oh,
or
no, she sent
something?"
it all to Cali.
And
It's
then
all in Cali's name.
and then she killed herself or something? Or was she a sacrifice that Ty and Van were trying to do to get Van to have more time? Even though they tried to get some random person on the street to pick up the card, which to me doesn't feel like the same as choosing it for a hunt. It's like someone walks by the card and has to actively pick it up. Like, it doesn't feel the same as like it choosing, but maybe like it tells you that you want to pick up the card that's on the ground? I don't know. It's
Don't pick it up.
so many people picked up that card and then, like, put it down. So,
Yeah,
like,
don't
did
pick it up.
it choose them? But then it was like, "No, thank you. We're gonna pick this random man." And then is there gonna ever be a follow through with that random man? Or was Lottie the death that happened? And where was she? That it looks almost I thought it was Misty's basement where she died because it was, like, downstairs into but it was probably, like, some sort of New
Well,
York,
I think
like,
we're supposed to be led to believe that it's New York 'cause she's in
New York City.
banking in a city, and
Mhm.
Shauna had said, "I drove up to New York to get this cat tonight." Remember, that's Shauna went to
So
all
did
the way to
Shauna go to
Manhattan.
kill her
She said, "I went all the way to Manhattan to get
to
this
get
cat."
the so did she kill Lottie because of the whole necklace thing? And
I
she thought
don't
she was
maybe,
coming
and
after
she's like,
Callie,
"You're not coming after I
my
know
daughter.
you, and I know you're never gonna release Callie, and you have your
Mhm.
hooks in her." Or she met with Lottie, and Lottie was like, "You have to do this to save Callie. You have to kill me because it wants Callie, and it's coming, so you have to give it them me instead."
This is like Final Destination. It has to jump over somebody, and then it starts
Maybe.
circle again. Um,
Whereas, like, Lottie somehow has taken the heart to be something of protection or something else. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, like, did Walter have anything to do with it? Because he texted Misty about it. He seemed to know before anyone else, but it was on that
No,
website, Citizens Detective website. There are several suspects. Or also she was wearing chunky heels, and those are dangerous on any staircase.
it's
Um,
not. It's definitely on purpose, but I think that Shauna being in
but was
Manhattan,
it a ritual? The candles, like,
it
were
it did seem it did seem like Lottie had set it up for someone to come and do it. It seemed like Lottie knew it was going to happen. Lottie was taking care of her money because she knew it was going to happen. Travis took care of his thing because he knew that that was going to happen. And why did Travis die? What was Travis's death in the now timeline to prevent or to help?
right. Well,
We'll have to go back and look.
she said he thought that you had to get extremely close to death to understand it because Natalie had had an OD where she almost died in the adult times and that's where
Mhm.
she like had a vision. So he thought that you had to like get extremely close to death but not die because it happened to Van too. Like she had that vision when she was on the fire
Right,
kind of. So he was trying to like auto asphyxiate himself but not die. And so she and Lottie was going to help him. But then she had that vision of Laura Lee as like a demon and it distracted her. And then
right,
the thing broke, the remote broke. So she couldn't get him down, which again seems like supernatural intervention of like the thing just wanted him to die. And I don't know
then
what it
what was
actually
help?
solved or what it gave what they got in return for
Right.
Travis dying. Unsure. Natalie was right
Oh,
about,
and
that
Bree
they
says,
brought
"And
it back with them.
Travis left the note for Nat to try to warn her." I don't remember the note. I
The
have to
note
go back.
said, "Natalie, you were right." Natalie was right, and she thought it meant when she had had that vision and that OD and said, "We brought it back with us."
Oh, yeah.
And that was yeah, and we, in a lot and Lottie's account of what happened to Travis,
That's
I
right, we are
never
not
believed.
yes, I
Um,
remember. It's weird. Yeah, mhm. It's not
so
something is off. Yeah, I okay, so we'll see. We'll see what's going on with
maybe
Lottie.
Lottie
Also
went to see Lisa, the cult member who was, there that night.
oh, maybe. Can I also be very, very clear in the fact that I need Misty to patch things up with Walter?
Yeah, I
Because
know.
Walter is my favorite addition to the cast,
I know.
and I just need him he's so helpful. Why don't you let him be in on this stuff?
Because she was like he's like mother henning me, like picking
He's
up
not. You're being stupid.
I
I'm
know,
over it.
and then but what she holds dearest are, like, this friendship with these girls that is all in her head,
Because they
and
don't want her. Because
right.
she's like
But
that kind of
that's what she
person that yeah,
holds dearest, and so when
right.
he kept calling her out on it and saying, "They're actually not good
They're
friends of yours.
horrible
They don't
friends,
even
right,
like you. They won't even pick up the phone for you." That
yeah.
was, like That's not what she wanted to hear.
even
But
though it's true.
he is the only one that cares. Yeah. So is Van, her hand shaking like it's if she just found out it stopped growing, but like now is she have something
What do you
else
mean her
going on?
hand shaking?
When she was buying the pretzels, her hand was like this, and then they even pointed out, Ty goes, "Is your hand okay?" Which I thought was very clunky. And in the first season, they would never have called it out like that. But she was shaking, her hand was shaking. And then Ty said, "Is your hand okay?" And Van's like,
Gosh.
"No, it's okay." So like, is it because they hadn't killed someone yet? Like she needs that they're gonna have to kill someone every day to keep her alive? Like, what's happening? But literally, she just found out the cancer had stopped growing the day before.
This one's
So
out.
there's no
Oops.
way that in one day it is back because they didn't kill someone. That's what I'm saying. Then she would need to kill someone every single day. It never went away, but it's still there for sure. But this seems her hand shaking seems like the writers are trying to tell us that she's very sick. And they, so she, I don't,
I don't know. It
because
feels
they didn't
important.
kill that guy, because they didn't kill that stranger with the card, with who picked up the card.
Maybe. Yeah, remember you get in
And now
trouble.
her hand just so literally, are they going to have to kill a stranger every single day to keep her
Maybe.
alive?
We don't know. I
And
don't
Van
know.
would never want that. Like, I understand Van in the wilderness was okay with Javi dying because they needed to eat, and but I don't believe that current present time Van, Lauren Ambrose, is okay with killing strangers every day. And she proved it when she stopped her and said, we're going to kill this guy. I don't want
Right.
to stay alive like this by killing
Yeah, this
someone."
this is terrible.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. Do we have any closing thoughts before next time? We'll be back here in a couple
I'm
weeks.
upset. That's my
I'm
closing.
upset too. I
Yeah.
I I am enjoying it more now. I feel like we're getting a little bit more into the meat and potatoes, but there are a few stylistic things that have upset me throughout. I'm trying not to nitpick.
I didn't like Misty envisioning stabbing Shauna. I thought that was weird. Um, that weird like flash that she has, and it was just a vision. Like I didn't feel like that was
I'm
stylistic.
not sure why they're doing that.
Strange.
That is
Um,
weird. Did you have anything else?
no, that's it.
This was,
I'm just
um, are you so
th-
you're medium? Where are you at?
I'm medium, but I'm more excited after talking to everybody, and I
Does it
hope
help to it
it
does you make
helps
it
to
yeah.
talk about it, and the mysteries we still have make me excited to keep watching.
Yeah,
So
me too.
that's
We haven't had anything super egregious. It's been little things, but, like, nothing has been like, "Okay."
yeah.
You
On
know?
trial was kind of okay to
Well,
me.
we knew that was gonna happen, but, like, it was still interesting to watch. I was still excited about a trial episode. I just really was hoping I was hoping it really solidifies Shauna as a baddie, though. Like, a
Mm,
not a good kinda baddie, like a bad
yeah,
villain
yeah,
in this, and Melissa as also a bad person because she does the, "Did you feel that? That's power."
yeah,
That I wanted to push her face in the mud. I
yeah,
don't like that. I really don't like that. That
mm,
kinda talk is no good here. We
yeah.
don't need that in this close of quarters.
I
This is
agree.
not it's not going anywhere good.
Um, yeah, Jeff finally found an audience for his jokes with the old people. Love Jeff. Jeff
That
is my
was
character.
Jeff is still great.
Yeah,
Jeff
he's
is
still
still great. I wish I liked Shauna better in our now timeline, but she
yeah.
is being really bad to Misty and, like, secretive in a way that's not helpful, and a lot of people helped her last season, so I'm just
Mhm.
irritated. You had
Yeah,
a lot of help,
yeah.
a lot, and it feels like
Misty
you're
helped you
just
a lot.
a lot,
Yeah.
and you're just being kind of a jerk.
Mhm.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody. I'm so excited. We we appreciate all of you, and
And
Well,
thank you, Kimberly, for doing this. This was really fun.
yeah, thank you, Katie, and we will hopefully be back next week. We're gonna try, or maybe in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
We'll let you know. But
we'll
send
do
us
as many as
comments
we
and
can.
questions, and we'll maybe talking points, and we can discuss ideas. I don't know. You can,
I am definitely going to watch a few, like, videos too to see what people are saying, if I can get
yeah,
some
we
good
can talk more
theories.
about other theories. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just wanted to wait till I got a little further in, and now I can go back and see what people say about 1 through 4. I just didn't
Yeah.
wanna I didn't wanna do it if I hadn't seen the episodes, so
Oh, no, you'll get so many spoilers. Yeah.
it's too much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Buzz,
Bye.
buzz, buzz,
Buzz,
buzz,
buzz,
buzz,
buzz,
buzz,
buzz, buzz,
buzz,
buzz,
buzz.
buzz.